In the pro-life community, people often talk about the sanctity of life. But what is the sanctity of life? Well, the word sanctify comes from a Latin word meaning holiness or sacredness. In the Bible, we often see the word sanctify, which means to set apart to a sacred purpose or to religious use, to consecrate. People sometimes refer to the sanctity of marriage when they're trying to communicate a distinction between the holy union of one man and one woman for life and other relationships. And by that, they mean that marriage is holy and different and special. When we talk about the sanctity of life, we're talking about the fact that mankind is separate from the animals and set apart, and therefore has inherent, immeasurable value simply because they're human. They need no qualifiers such as mental capacity or size or quality of life or degree of dependency. This is a foundational Christian teaching, and like many foundational doctrines, its basis is found in the book of Genesis. Genesis 1:27 says, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them." The fact that we were made in the image of God is the one paramount distinguishing feature between mankind and the rest of creation. This concept has been the foundation for human dignity throughout history and has greatly impacted Western civilization in culture and law. It was considered self-evident by our founding fathers when they boldly declared this in the Declaration of Independence, where it said,
"We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness."
Sometimes when participating in pro-life activism, we will talk to people and they'll say something like,
"Oh, I'm pro-life. I'm even pro-life for animals. That's why I'm vegan."
This, I think, is regrettable because while they oppose abortion, they obviously do not support the sanctity of life any more than someone who is pro-abortion. If you elevate animals to the same level of importance and value as human life, you've missed the point. But you may ask, why does it matter? The sanctity of life makes up part of your worldview, and it provides the intellectual framework on which to then hang the walls of your convictions. It's important because without this framework, the building of your convictions may become vulnerable to whatever ideas are culturally accepted. And we know that this can have catastrophic consequences for a person or a nation, because without a solid moral foundation, society will crumble to moral decay and barbarity like abortion, euthanasia, and eugenics. We live in a culture that is rapidly changing with technology. And as new questions arise, like should scientists be allowed to experiment in a laboratory with little human beings like they do mice? Or should we use new advancements in biotechnology to create a human-animal hybrid? When these questions arise, if you have a solid understanding of the sanctity of life, you will adamantly reject and denounce these, because little human beings are made in the image of God and are not resources to be created, experimented on, and then destroyed. Understanding and embracing the sanctity of life will equip you to better defend the right to life and prepare you to make right moral judgments as new threats arise to the weak and voiceless in our society. I'm Abigail Cochran with the Northwest Georgia Right to Life. Thank you for watching. To learn more about the sanctity of life, you can visit our website at www.grtl.org and like and subscribe to see more videos with answers to your pro-life questions.